So it's actually past midnight, so it's officially 18th of October, which means it's the first day of the Fortnite Frights readathon, and I am actually going to go to bed now because it's very late, and I'm going to do a bit of reading before I go to sleep. So I'm going to start with Welcome to Despair, which is the short story collection by an Black author. So yeah, that's what I'm going to start doing. As it was very late, I didn't read more than just a few pages, and I will continue reading now. So I have managed to read 2 short stories in this short story collection today. I'm going to read a little bit more in bed before I go to sleep, but then there's a new day tomorrow, and I hope to read a little bit before I go to work because I work late tomorrow and I should have some time in the morning, but not much more after that. When I'm at work, I can't read. So I just wanted to say that I finished Welcome Despair today, which is the short story collection that I've read for this readathon. And I really enjoyed it. I actually gave it 4 stars on Goodreads. I wouldn't give it 5 full stars unless it's among my absolute favorite books. And it takes a lot to be my absolute favorite book. Anyway, this was a really good short story collection for me and for the genre. It's no happy endings, which is not a spoiler because it's actually says so on the back. I can read from the back even. Not sure your stomach is strong enough to handle deep horror and gore? Then Welcome Despair is just up your alley. A collection of short stories that lets you dip one foot into the cold, shallow end and makes you shiver. Each story opens a doorway into fear, pain, sorrow, and blood. Looking for happy endings? Not here. Come settle in and welcome despair. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. There's some of the short stories like a mix of horror and science fiction, which is great. And yeah, just an enjoyment to read. And I have started Vampire Yeah, which is the poetry collection, but I haven't really gotten very far because I only read on my commute this morning, and after work I wanted to listen to podcasts, so that's what I did. And when I got home I was tired and just wanted to chillax and watch YouTube. So that's it, and I will see you tomorrow. So I actually haven't read anything today. I'm going to try to read a little bit before I go to sleep, but yeah, it's been one of those days where I've been focusing on listening to podcasts and stuff instead of reading. Yeah, some days are just like that, and I had yoga class as well. But yeah, anyway, I'm going to read a little bit and then I'm going to go to sleep. Actually my birthday. Happy birthday to me! Anyway, I finished Vampire Yay by Anders Brenno, the poetry collection that I was going to read for this reading challenge, readathon. But I must say that I was actually slightly disappointed. And I don't know, I didn't really like the language in this, I think. Yeah, he uses a lot of English, and there's nothing wrong with the writing in English if that's what you write, but I think he could use more Norwegian, and it was very oral, and I didn't really think he created good pictures, if that makes any sense to you. So slightly disappointing, but I've read it, and I'm one more book done for the readathon. And I haven't read as much as I wanted to read for this readathon so far. We're now halfway. But the thing is that I have had some work-related reading to do, so I had a few days where I haven't really read anything, or not much, for the readathon. So today is Sunday, and yeah, I didn't read as much as I wanted to so far. But that's how life is, and I had to read for work, and I didn't get to read as much as I wanted, but now I can actually continue with something else, or start something else than this poetry book that I actually have struggled a little bit with. That is also one of the reasons it has taken me longer than planned. Okay, so I haven't finished Death Notes that I am reading, but I will have to put everything on hold because I got this beauty today. Jernulven by Siri Pettersen. She is one of my favorite authors, even though I actually know her, but she's one of my favorite authors. And you can see the beautiful raven wings here in the background. And the first book in that trilogy is actually coming out in English in March, so look out for that. I've been thinking of doing a review thingy on that because I've read it a couple of times and I love the series. But now, today, this was published, and I'm very excited, and it's signed. I am so excited about this. So I know it's a bit of a break, but can't wait to read it. So all other reading will be held on hold for now because I really, really need to read this Jernulven, or the Iron Wolf. And I asked Siri if it could be categorized as dark fantasy, but she didn't have a clear answer on that. So we'll see. Maybe I can include it in the readathon as it's my dark fantasy read, because, you know, reading TBR lists, they're kind of gone out the window anyway. Very excited. So today is the last day of the readathon, and my TBR has basically gone through the window, but that's okay. I managed to complete 2 books, 1 short stories by a Black author, so that's like ticked off 2 boxes, and then it was a Norwegian poetry book, so that was poetry and mainland Europe, which is 2 ticks. And I started reading and read a good chunk of the first Death Notes comic, which is translated into Norwegian from Japanese. And so yeah, so that is Asian author and translation. And now I am currently reading this and focusing on this. And I know I will not finish this today because it's like a good chunk. It's 500 pages. And I'm a slow reader, and I have quite a lot of other things that I need to do today, like chores in the house. We're getting a guest tomorrow, so I need to tidy up and stuff. So I will be focusing on Jernulven, the Iron Wolf by C.D. Pettersen. I really, really like it so far. It's a really good book, and yeah, I think that is pretty much what I will be able to do today. I did read in this before bedtime or before I went to sleep last night, but I didn't film it. And also I did it before breakfast today and I didn't film that because I'm not filming everything. So I will read as much as I can today, but I do have a lot of stuff to do, like baking a cake or muffins actually. Making banana muffins, vegan of course, being a vegan. And need to tidy and clean and boring stuff and laundry that never goes away. So quite a lot of stuff to do. My partner will also do stuff like that. It's not like my partner never does anything. Far from it, we're two. But I think we're both kind of low of energy these days. So, and also my partner is doing a Norwegian course, learning Norwegian. Taking a lot of energy as well. So yeah. Anyway, I am rambling, but I will continue reading this today. But I do have a lot of chores to do, and I'll see how much I will actually get to do. So that's basically my readathon, and that was what I was going to say, and I almost forgot to say it. But this is fantasy. It's Norwegian fantasy, and I think I mentioned earlier that I asked the author if it was dark fantasy, and she said it depends on how you define dark fantasy. That being said, it is quite dark. It also has a they have some undead. They have some undead people. Not people, but well, kind of people in it. Not vampires per se, but they're undead. So I think that was one of the prompts as well, like undead and dark fantasy, because I am going to say that this is dark fantasy. So that's ticks off 2 other prompts as well. So personally, I feel I haven't done too badly. I've been a slow reader lately, and I am low on energy, so that also kind of makes it harder for me to focus when I read, and there's all these things going on, and I have some work stuff that is taking up a lot of brain capacity at the moment, which will be better in a week when I'm finished that task. So yeah. So this is what I will be reading for today, but I'm not going to film anymore because I don't really have the time, and I really do want to get this up tomorrow. Fingers crossed if I can do that. Not sure, but if I am, great. So that being said, that would be my reading blog for this readathon, and I have enjoyed the stuff that I've read mostly. The poetry collection, as I said, was a bit of a letdown. I had hoped for it to be darker actually, and the language was really all over the place. So that being said, this is it for me for now, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!